Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about sports card investing for dummies. Let's get right into it. Many people when it comes to sports cards don't even know where to start. They don't know who to buy, what product, what sport, but it's actually a lot simpler than that. Buy what you like if you're a collector. Now, this is going to take us into two different sections real quick. There's collectors and there's investors. If you're a collector, you're going to buy whatever you want. You're going to spend whatever money you want to buy the card you want. Say, I collect LeBron James. You're going to go buy a Prism base. You may want a Prism base, which in the long term, my opinion as an investor, that won't hold value. Collectors are willing to spend money on whatever they really want just because it has sentimental value to them and they care more about it than an investor would. An example of an investor would be like a guy investing in a first Bowman card of a player that they think could be good. An example would be, let's go with right now, Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. he's a good incoming baseball player, but the thing is, as soon as he has a hot peak or he has 2 home runs in one game, an investor would sell that off because they don't have any connection with that card. That's one of the most important things when investing in sports cards is you don't want to have connections with cards that will really prevent you from wanting to sell it to make the money. Another big question is who do I invest in if I'm an investor? Well, it's different for everyone because I know for me personally, baseball wise, I like Mookie Betts. I just look for players who are considered really good and I invest in them. Even Mike Trout, I'd look up Mike Trout, look up a cheap card of him like his 2010 jersey patch card that I just recently bought. That card, I bought it for like $600, but that's a prospect rookie patch. I feel like that card could be a $5,000 card one day. Investing's all about taking the time to look into something and not relying on other people. I know when I first started, I relied on my buddy for some investments, and I mean, they all panned out because he told me to invest in goats. You can't go wrong with goats, but it just gets difficult sometimes. I got a good goat example. So, last show I went to, New York, I bought Serena Williams cards. She's a goat. No one was buying tennis cards. No one at all. I bought those cards for $10 per. They're now doing $50 per, and at tens they do $1,000. That's the stuff you need to look into. If you want my advice for investing, invest in goats. You got, let's see, goat players that no one knows. Ready? Tony Hawk, Michael Phelps, Roger Federer, Usain Bolt, even gymnasts like Simone Biles, Gabby Douglas, Lindsey Vonn, skier, Shaun White, goats. They all do different sports, and the market's might not be as big, but when you see cards shooting to the moon, you got to think of goats and, wow, that could be a quick short-term flip. Maybe that could be a long hold. You never know. Even cards like The Rock, he's a huge actor, but his card is going to the moon because he's well known. Let's go with another one. I own a Kevin Hart auto. I bought that for $50. I think I'll sell that for $500 minimum. Even like the Gypsy Queen. Is it Gypsy Queen or Allen and Ginter? I think it might be Allen and Ginter. But they make celebrity autographs. Buy those. Those are going to the moon. I mean, shoot, if a Logan Paul auto came out or Jake Paul auto came out, the hype around those guys, the celebrities that they are, I'd buy one and quick sell it. That's ridiculous. But that's just the investing side. Collecting's it's so simple. Collecting is so simple. You are willing to spend as much money as you want. Could be tens of thousands of dollars, could be $1 to buy something you want, and you're not really worried if you're going to lose the money. Personally for me, I don't collect much other than Tom Brady, but like right here I can see my box right in front of me. of my PC cards, all Tom Brady base cards. I'd pay $1 for a Tom Brady base card, like a Prism base card, all day. It's just a small investment. It's not small investments. It's a small pieces that one day when I'm like 50, I want to look back on and be like, yeah, I collected that guy. That guy was great. And guess what? Maybe in 50 years, they could be considered an investment. You never know. But that's the difference between collecting and investing, and how you want to grow as an investor versus growing as a collector. They're two different things in the same market. You have to take the time to research as an investor, and you don't really care as a collector. What one do you want to choose? So, that being said, thank you guys for watching, and tune in next week.
From your love, you had me so blind, and now I'm working every day until it's showtime. Take it in, baby girl, you want my sunshine.